guys, welcome to another WoW Weekly with Myst. I hope everyone's doing great. For this week, we have Kalimdor Cup, which is still going on, and that will go on until August 28th. The weekly will be Battlegrounds, and the PvP Brawl will be Arathi Blizzard, and that's all that's going on this week. There is also the fact that classic hardcore servers will be available, but I am going to be talking about that near the end of the video. But for retail stuff, that's your week. Okay, so this first piece of news is something that will go on right now. And that is that Mythic Plus high keys have been nerfed for the rest of the season. So this will go into effect when maintenance occurs. So you'll see this on August 22nd. Basically, any keys that are above level 20, each additional keystone level will increase enemy health and damage by 8%. And it was 10%, so that's the nerf. Yeah. So here's a little chart where you can see the difference. So the old modifier is prior to August 22nd, and the new modifier is what you'll see tomorrow, when maintenance is all done. There is absolutely no changes to anything below a 20, so that's why I'm only showing you this chart. There was another chart, but literally the numbers were exactly the same, so it's not worth it for me to show you that chart. It's literally untouched, no changes. Yeah. So this really only applies to, I would say, 21 and above, because as you can see, 20 is the same as well. So just anything above 20. So this will remain in effect for the entire rest of Season 2. So yeah, if you're trying to get some high keys, it'll be a little easier now. The rest is going to be some 10.1.7 stuff. So the first thing I thought we'd talk about is this new ensemble set that you're going to see. It's called Ensemble Temporal Burdens, and it's Chromie Shoulderpads. And you'll also get Morchi's Time-Worn Shoulderpads. So 2 versions of the Hourglass stuff. I really like Hourglass type stuff, so I'm actually pretty hyped for this. Although I don't think I have a character that would use it. Just because they are gold. I still love Hourglass type stuff, and I'm definitely going to want that. The thing with me is I don't have to show off something to want it. There's something that I like, and all I care about is it being in the collection for that rainy day down the road when I decide to flaunt it off, Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how I work. So as for how you get it, there's no info. All we know is we're going to be able to get it. So I don't have much more I can really tell you on this, but other than the fact that you can actually obtain these in 10.1.7 somehow. Once I have more info on that somehow, I'll let you guys know. The next one has to do with the Forsaken. So some new Forsaken tabs have been data mined in the 10.1.7 PTR, and it is the Queen Loyalist tab and the Forsaken Champions tab. Next, we have the Holiday Reindrake armor for your dragon riding. So this is very interesting. Definitely, I wasn't too fond of it until I saw it on an actual dragon. Just looking at it, like this picture here, I'll put on screen. Just looking at it, I was kind of like, But once you see it on the dragon, which is right here, then yeah, it looks a lot better. Yeah. Still not a reindeer mount, I'm just gonna say. But, beggars can't be choosers, right? So yeah, I do like that there's like the little saddle. The saddle looks really cool. This right here has got to imply that we are for sure getting dragon riding in the old worlds. At this time, it's just been a bunch of people thinking we're gonna and, you know, assuming that we're gonna, but there's been no actual confirmation from Blizzard. And there still isn't, but this is kind of confirmation because, you know, you do the Christmas events over in, you know, Ironforge and, you know, wherever you do for Horde. I don't know if I've ever actually done the Christmas event on Horde side. But yeah, and you know people are going to complain if they have this like Reindrake armor that they can't use, you know, literally in the place that most people would be during the Christmas season, right? So it does make me wonder if we would have riding in the old worlds before Dragonflight ends, you know, because we should, you know, we'll see this next Christmas, like this coming up Christmas, we'll see this armor. Like, I personally think we're getting riding out there soon. You know, again, no confirmation. And yeah, so it would be interesting to see where that leads, because if we don't, you know, there's going to be people, like tons of people, you know, saying, why can't I ride my, you know, my Drake while I'm doing my Christmas dailies and, you know, shit like that, right? So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I was going to leave this last one out because I plan on doing a video on it, but I guess we'll just mention it since, you know, since people are probably expecting me to mention it. There is the Unravel the Secrets. This is something I've had in my list to do a video on for 2 months now. That's when we first heard about it. And at that time, the rewards were pretty limited. So, and because it was so early in, I held on to it in the hopes that there was something more to it. Which honestly was smart of me, because back then we only knew about the mount and the pet. And there's a few extra items that you can get from this. I'm actually surprised that, you know, we didn't know about those first, and then the mountain pet was like the added in, but yeah. Anyway, Unravel the Secrets is an event that's going to happen next week, which is why I wasn't going to mention it this week, because it's still early. So you'll hear me mention it next week, and I'll give more detail, and there'll be a video on it by then and all that. It'll be an event that begins on August 31st. It's going to take a while. It's a big secret type thing. So, like, it's time gated. Yeah, they don't even plan on releasing the last clue till, like, mid-September. So yeah, it's one of those things, right? Yeah. So yeah, my suggestion is just wait for other people to fucking solve it, and then just do it at the end, you know? Just do it when everything's there, and... Yeah. Rather than a little bit here and a little bit there. The only thing that really worries me about this event is the fact that they say the last hint won't show up till September 13th, but the event actually shows it ending on September 13th. That's me really focusing on the fine print right there, guys. Like, you know, I read things and then I analyze them when they don't make sense, right? So that could just be a misprint on their end. But I will say, the same day that the event ends is the same day that they're claiming the last hint will be in the game. So yeah, I guess we'll see how that all pans out. It is honestly possible that this is not a misprint. Like, this is a daily... Like, you get daily secrets from the day it starts to the day it ends. So it could be how it's designed that that's the last daily and then it's over, right? I will keep up with that, guys. And I do plan on putting out a video on this. So for those that just want to wait until the very end, I'll have a video. If what I'm reading is actually accurate, then I'll make sure that video goes out that day to make sure that it's done. But yeah, that would be a very silly way to do it if it is how I'm reading it, as far as that last hint goes. If that is the case, I would hope they would give a few extra days on when the Unravel the Secrets is actually over. Another thing that I think is wrong with this, cool event and all, I'll take my freebie rewards, but one thing that I also think is wrong with what they're doing here is that they specifically say, and I'll say it word for word, they say, you'll need to keep your eyes peeled for daily secrets and tantalizing new rumors, and even play a follow the leader with some of your favorite community creators to discover some of the secrets. If this is going to involve content creators, and more specifically, they are talking streamers, basically, it's daily hints. And if it's through streamers, that means you're being forced to watch a streamer that is part of this follow the leader every day for a couple of weeks. Now, I'm pretty sure that this probably only targets like high-end streamers, but they do word it your favorite streamers. Like, if you're going to word it that way, then it should apply to everyone, because, you know, I know a lot of people that their favorite streamer is not a streamer that makes millions for money, or even, you know, a very livable wage. But if for some reason I qualify as a streamer, I will just post it on the community tab. Like, I know that people have busy lives and they can't hang out in a stream every day. You know, I think this is a stupid way to do it. And I'm just going to say, if by some miracle, because I'm so sure this is going to target people like Towley, you know, I would say Asmon, but he doesn't really play WoW or do WoW content anymore. But you know, it's going to target like known WoW creators. But if by some miracle I am part of it, yeah, just look at the community. You don't need to be in stream every day to figure it out. And yeah. And also, if I don't qualify, I will still do that. I will still go to the community tab, and, you know, if it's a hint that, you know, I don't know, if it's something like every day, you know, look under a rock, or, you know, hint is over in that tree, you know, like, I don't know how this thing's working. But if it's something like that, I will find out what it is every one of those days, and I will put it in the community tab. So no need to wait on me doing a video. I will put the hints every single day in the community tab for you guys. Just because whether I am one of those streamers or not, it still applies that most people don't have the time, you know, to watch a stream every single day, right? So don't worry, guys. I will have you guys covered for the entire 2 weeks for this secret. But anyway, the rewards you can get is there's the Tricked Out Thinking cap, a Torch of Pyrith toy, the Titan Key weapon transmog, and then the final two items, which probably is the reason most people would do it, is that there is another head transmog that is the Deerstalker hat, and then there's also Patty the alpaca mount. So this will be, was this our third alpaca mount? Maybe third or fourth? I think it's third. right? I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, Tobias is the pet. Cute little white dog there. And he's also got like deerstalker hats on him. So kind of cute. So yeah, that is that event. And that is all the retail news for this week. Okay, so classic hardcore WoW servers will be launching this week. It will launch on Thursday, August 24th, and they should be up by 3 p.m. Pacific. So there's going to be some stuff you're going to immediately have access to. So the gates of AQ will be opened up from the start. Dungeon set quests will be available right at the start. As far as the dungeons go, those are going to be on a 24-hour lockout. This is to encourage you to go outside of the dungeons and, explore and, have some actual hardcore difficulty. Not really, no real difficulty there if you're hiding in a dungeon. All the raids will be open from Molten Core to Nax. The attunement process is unchanged. Mechanics are the same. World bosses like Lord Kazakh, Azirgos, and the Nightmare Dragons will be there. There will also be free transfers available for dead hardcore characters. And then some recent updates has been from the Community Council live chat. So they do say that death messages are only going to be limited to the guilds. There's no plans to expand beyond that. But, they're open to making changes maybe down the road. Of course they are. Solo self-found won't be available at launch. But they are looking into making a self-found without solo. I left the best for last here because I might have some things to say on it. So I didn't want to have like a big rant in the middle of giving you all the pinpoints there. But that's basically all the pinpoints. The last one I wanted to mention is that they said that they think Classic Plus is interesting, and that there will be another season for WoW Classic, and it's not going to be Season of Mastery 2. So that line just kind of, that's it's very open-ended, but it's enough to maybe get you thinking that they might actually do a Classic Plus. Like they think it's interesting. The next season isn't going to be another Season of Mastery. Like, yeah, it might not be exactly the Classic Plus that people imagine in their mind, but it could be a seasonal type Classic Plus. Because to me, a Classic Plus was always like this brand new game, where it was, what WoW always was, plus these additional quests out in areas that you were always blocked from going to, or, an NPC that always seemed like the type of NPC to have something to say, but never said anything to you, like situations like that. That's how I've always imagined it. But you could throw that into a seasonal. Yeah, I'm up for anything new they would want to do. And honestly, as a WoW fan and someone who played since vanilla, Classic has always been a been there, done that situation for me. For me to actually be more involved in the Classic WoW portion of the game, I need Classic Plus, and I knew that from the very get-go before they even released Classic at all back in 2019. I knew it was going to be a nostalgic moment. I'd go in, play, a week of each expansion they decided to put in. I think I gave the main vanilla a month, but the thing is, like, I've been playing for almost 20 years, and I no-lifed vanilla the most out of all of them. So yeah, I am all for a Classic Plus if they do decide to do that. I really hope that they are seriously thinking about it. And yeah. So that is pretty much everything I got for you for that. Okay, so for Myst's weekly update. Well, I've been playing a lot of Palia. I feel like I'm past the so excited part of Palia. So we will calm down a bit now on Palia videos. I'm casually playing it now. The first week or two. Or has it only been a week? I think it's only been a week, but it's hard to tell. I was doing so much editing, and yeah, first week or two, I was very heavily into Palia, but I feel like I'm at a point where, I'm not constantly being given things to do in the game, and the things I am doing are timely, and yeah, so I feel like we're at a good spot with Palia. I've actually been caught up on all my Palia videos for a week now, I would say, or close to it. So yeah. My thoughts on Palia, it's a great game. Definitely a Portia clone. So it's like, I don't know. I don't see that as a bad thing, but also people only have so much time in their days to play games, so if it's too much of a Portia clone, people are probably just gonna pick Portia, the game that is fully out and has been for years, or Sandrock, their sequel, which basically is Palia, right? Because Sandrock, their sequel, just introduced the multiplayer. And yeah, another thing is I do have my concerns with Palia as far as MMO goes. I feel like everyone's just slapping the title MMO on games, and they're not really MMOs, It's like, I think people gotta take this shit a little more seriously. But their communication in the game is not good. I'm just gonna say that. It is easy to miss what your friends say. Every time you load in, the chat resets on you and you don't see what was said at all through your login. It's equivalent to in WoW when you reload your UI. It's just brand new chat and everything. Yeah, equivalent to that, except that happens without you reloading anything. It just happens when you go through a loading screen. So yeah, that's gonna make it tough. So that's my thoughts on Palia. It is a great game. It just needs work on that multiplayer aspect of it. And honestly, not that our guild or community is filled yet, but I could see later on needing more room in the community. You can only have a max of 25 people in the community. I've only been mentioning we have a community to the YouTube, right? Because I want to make sure that if you guys want in the community, you can actually get in, because it's only 25 people. So yeah, that's the Palia talk. Wayfinder, I was gonna stream it when when the beta opened up on, Thursday? But why I didn't is because I had found out I would have to buy a Founders Pack. Now, I can get a Founders Pack for as cheap as, I don't know, $22 was the cheapest. The priciest was like $150. Yeah, it was fucking crazy. But I just wanted to test out a game that I probably knew already that I wasn't really going to play. Just because it was free. I was just going to test out this free game, right? So that's why I didn't stream it, because it's not, to me, it's not worth me putting money into, With Disney, it was, but even with Disney, I didn't purchase it right away. I waited like a month. I contemplated, putting money into that. And it was a very good investment. I've had a blast in Disney for a year because of that. And now I've watched some Wayfinder videos, and I'm just gonna say no. Yeah, it just seems too. I don't like the looks of it. Yeah, so I'm glad I decided to not put money into it to play it on stream. A lot of the time stream is like what I think of first before, like, yeah. So, and then Kalimdor races I've been doing. I need to do another day of it this week to see what I can get. One thing I meant to mention at the beginning, but if you're listening this far, then you'll get this nice, cool little trick. But if you are doing the Kalimdor races and you're struggling, but you want to purchase the stuff off the vendor, use alts. The alts work. You can just go do your normal races. Getting gold on normal races is pretty easy, so you can get a good chunk of badges there, like roughly 80 or whatever. And yeah, just do that on a bunch of alts, and you can buy your stuff that way if that's your concern. Unfortunately, if you want the achievements and the title, then you gotta push through and get your gold on everything. But yeah, if all you care about is the rewards, then use your alts. You definitely can. So this week might be a little low on streams. I have some playthroughs that I'm trying to catch up on. Oh, I don't know if I even mentioned my hardcore decision. I have decided not to do classic hardcore. The reason is because I have all these games I'm trying to finish, and you know, I'm more a Diablo hardcore than a WoW hardcore. So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass on that because it will only just make all these games that I'm currently trying to finish up that much longer, and I'll get more behind, you know, like, yeah, it's, you know, it's the grindy games that hold you back. You know, from completing these nice quick 20-hour playthroughs or 40-hour or whatnot, minus our Zelda one, which is hundreds of hours. But you know, like the playthroughs I'm doing, they should be like complete so fast, but because I got WoW in the picture, and you know, like, yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of sit back and, you know, just chill on the classic hardcore end of things. And yeah, so my plans this week is we'll do a Mount Run stream, and then I want to get back into Zelda. And then I also have another playthrough I've been doing that I'd like to, you know, maybe finish this week or get close to finishing. And then I could start uploading it to the channel as well. So I hope you had a great week, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.